Clarence Williams. This is another edition of Now and Then. Good afternoon. This is the 4th of July. This is 249 years of the Declaration of Independence. Certainly, we welcome you to our podcast. Hope, trust, and pray that things are going well with you. This shirt that I purposely is wearing today came from a very good friend of mine's, Rex Anderson. Some years ago, I was down in Rolling Fork, Mississippi at his congregation, and they were having a Black History program. And I liked the shirt that he was wearing. And so I commented on the shirt, and he literally took the shirt off and gave it to me. And this is that shirt. I appreciate him. Thank you so much, brother. Yourself a great 4th of July. I want to talk to you about the one big, beautiful bill. Now that the one big, beautiful bill has been signed, sent to the president's desk for signing, the question is, what will be the results? What will happen now? What will the Democrats do? The leadership of the Democrat Party, and more specifically, what will America do? What will the citizens of America do? Now, let me go back in some history with you, if you don't mind. Remember last year when the Republicans were totally confused in the House of Representatives. I mean, they were going this way, that way, and they couldn't get their leadership right. They kept firing one leader and putting in another one, and it took them months in order to get another leader in, and they kept rejecting this leader, and they were really in chaos. Put note to that now. Even though they did all of that chaos, they still won and retained the House. They took the Senate, and they have the presidency. I'm still talking last year, but I'm just showing you, even though they were in total ruins last year in the House, they still maintained the House. They had this rule that they agreed to, that one representative can challenge the leadership at any point for whatever reason. And remember when they had Mike Johnson, they finally agreed on him. And then Margaret Taylor Greene objected to something that he was doing, he had put forth. And so she challenged him, that one vote, that one representative, she challenged him. In the past, while they were going through all of this chaos, the Democrats, Hakeem Jeffries, the minority leader of the House, had, and his Democrats party had sit on the sideline. They were not going to bail out the Republicans. I'm talking history now, because I'm trying to get you somewhere. And the question is today, remember, what will the Democrats do today after this big, beautiful bill has passed? You can only, one thing, you just look in the past and you'll see what they're going to do today. Okay? So I'm trying to show you the past. Margaret Taylor Greene, she stood up, she challenged Mike Johnson. And so now a vote has to take place in the House. In the past, Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrats just let them fought it out. Just let the Republicans fought it out. But this particular time, when Margaret Taylor Greene challenged Mike Johnson, Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrats stepped in and saved Mike Johnson, the same Mike Johnson that is now putting this uh, big beautiful bill on President uh, Donald Trump's desk, the same Mike Johnson would not be there if the Democrats had not stepped in and saved Mike Johnson's leadership. And the reason why they did that, Hakeem Jeffries keep talking for the American people. He's doing it for the American people. The same American people that rejected you after you did it and still gave the House back to the Republicans. And you still saying you're doing it for the American people. You don't have no message. You don't have a message. Remember all the way back again, after the election. Now, this was before the election, but now after the election, Chuck Schumer, this is the minority leader in the Senate, Chuck Schumer, had this reconciliation that the Republicans was putting forth, and what not they was CR, they was continuing resolution. That's what it was, because the budget was coming up, and the government was going to shut down if they did not pass this continuing resolution, this CR. But they wanted to continue it until July. This is July. And all of the Democrats are saying no. Well, some of the Democrats are saying no, we're not going to do that. I mean, we've always extended it for 1 month or for 3 months, but for 6 months, we're not going to allow you to do that. But then Chuck Schumer stood up and said, well, if we don't do that, then Trump is going to have free will to furlough all of the employees that he deemed is unnecessary, not only just temporarily, but forever, permanent furlough. And that's why Chuck Schumer said, we're not going to give him that. We're going to see, can we help them get it passed? Remember that phrase, help the Republicans get it passed. Remember last year, Hakeem Jeffries helped the Republicans keep Mike Johnson because he wanted to help the American people. Well, if Hakeem Jeffries had stood back with the Democrats and allowed Mike Johnson to be voted out, then you would have had someone else. Plus, the American people will have continued to see the chaos before the election. But what stopped the chaos in the Republican House before the election? The Democrats. Now, Chuck Schumer says we're not going to allow the government to shut down because President Trump is going to have free will to do, free reign to do whatever he wished to do. Okay? So he convinced some of his Democrat parties to vote for the continuing resolution. Government did not shut down. No hiccup. Trump did not have to deal with that. He just kept on dealing with his plan because there was no obstruction in his way. And why there was no obstruction in his way? The Democrats again. Now this big beautiful bill, and you only saw one or two that were out there campaigning against the Doge and everything was going on with that, and against the big beautiful bill and everything is going on with that. You don't see no one else until election time comes, and then you see them on platforms and rallies and everything talking about this. And what happens during the time where there are no rallies? Create a rally, create a town hall, and talk about it. But you don't see the Obamas and you don't see the Clintons, and you don't see anyone else out there. You don't even see Hakeem Jeffries out there. You saw OLC, whatever her name is. I'm sorry, I don't want to disrespect her. I just don't know. But here we are now with the one big, beautiful bill. And they fought hard, the Democrats. They fought hard and they showed you everything that was wrong about this bill. Even the Republicans was out there talking about what was wrong with this one big, beautiful bill. How did you get the one big, beautiful bill? The Republicans did not want to do one big, beautiful bill. They wanted to break it up because they felt it was going to be too hard to get all of this in one big, beautiful bill. But Donald Trump had a trump card. He had the influence of the Republican Party. The American people had given him the presidency, had given him the House, and had given him the Senate. However, narrow majority, but he still had it. And Donald Trump believed that he could, through his influence, bully anyone to do what he wanted them to do. And that's what he played. He played his cards. Remember Zelensky with Ukraine, when Donald Trump told him he don't have any cards? He doesn't have any cards. Donald Trump believed he had the cards. And he played the card. And he's still playing the cards. And did he win? Yes, he won. Despite all of the, we're not going to cut Medicaid. We're not going to cut SNAP. We're not going to cut Social Security or Medicare. We're just not going to do that. All of that, and people keep telling you, and everyone is saying, even the Republicans are saying, we don't agree with Medicare cuts. We don't agree with 17 million people being thrown off of Medicare. We don't agree with all of the children being denied coverage of Medicaid. With all of that, and the budget halts of the Republican Party. This is wrong. This is dirty. This is nasty. We will never vote for this. The fiscal conservatives that don't want the budget to be left to the backbone of the shoulders of our children. That's what they always say, remember? And even up until the point where the House voted and sent it to the Senate, they were still talking, even though they voted for it, we don't agree with it. Why? Because Donald Trump played his card. When it got over to the Senate said, listen, we are not going to do it like that. Remember Rand Paul? We're not going to do it like that. He had all kind of Josh Hawley. We're not going to do it like that. That is wrong. We're not going to cut all these people off of Medicare and Medicaid and SNAP. They still did it. Not only did they do it, they increased the number of people that's going to be affected off of it. Yes, they did that. And then sent it back to the House with limited time in order to get it to the president's desk by today. If they had changed anything in that bill, it would have had to go back to the Senate to vote again. Not only did Donald Trump play his cards, he played his cards to the T. Remember the gambler, know when to hold them and know when to fold them? Donald Trump played his card to the T. He even had the date picked out, kind of like Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, I'm going to knock you out in the fourth round. Donald Trump said, I want it on my desk by July the 4th. Now, could he do that? Could he get all of these Republicans to agree with that and do it even though they totally agreed with the bill? He had a trump card, influence. And now it's done. And the Republicans are out there clapping and everything, and the Democrats, even Hakeem Jeffries, the longest speech on the floor in opposition to a bill, yes, did good. The question is, what's next? What are they going to do now? Republicans going to be out there, and they're going to be championing the bill, and they're going to be showing all of the advantages of the bill. And Democrats going to be out there, and they're going to be showing all of the disadvantages of the bill. And everyone, even the Republicans, are saying that we have just given the Democrats a victory in the House and in the Senate in November. Still to be seen. Because remember, back last year, the Democrats helped Mike Johnson. Remember this year, the Democrats helped with the continuing resolution, helped the Republicans, all under the guise of helping the American people. And they're going to do it again. They will do it again under the guise of helping the American people. When chips come down, when the rubber meets the road, Democrats is going to cave because they want to help the American people. Republicans don't care nothing about that. Republicans want to win. That's what they want to do. They will fix it after they win. But the Democrats don't think like that. We think we want to help the American people. And because you think like that, even though you have been given the victory of November 2026, the question is, will you mess it up? Because you want to help the American people. Now the tariffs, and then I'm through. Even with the lies that was told about who was paying the tariffs, the economy is still going. Stock market is still going. Trump is threatening companies if they start imposing the tariffs, what's going to happen to them? He is threatening law firms. Yes, law firms. What's going to happen to them if they start representing these clients that is against Trump? Still playing his cards. Tariffs now, after this 90-day pause, is going to start being imposed on all countries that have not signed an agreement, a trade agreement with Donald Trump. No, not with America, not with the citizens, not with Congress, not with the House of Representatives, not with the Senate, no, not with the states. Signed an agreement with Donald Trump because he has all the cards. Yeah. And these countries know that. They know it, and they are delaying, and they're trying to manipulate and do all of this last minute now because the 9th is coming up. And Donald Trump said, I'm going to send a letter to everyone and tell them what they must pay. Still playing his cards. Still playing his cards. The one big beautiful bill that has just passed shows Donald Trump that what he believed about the Senate and what he believed about the House was true. His victory over Kamala Harris last year showed him what he believed about the American people was true. And so, even though the Democrats have all of this momentum, I'm waiting for Donald Trump to come from behind again. Not because he can, but because the American people will allow him to. How? They will start believing the lies again. The Senate has already caved, the House has already caved, and then the courts are caving. Have you wondered what has happened with the three-panel court, the International Trade Court, that has ruled that Donald Trump cannot impose these tariffs? Then the appellate court says pause. Now the appellate court is trying to make a decision. What has happened to that decision? It's still sitting there because the courts are beginning to cave. And even if the intermediate courts don't cave, when they get to the Supreme Court has already showed you that it is going to cave. So the tariffs, yes, all of those percentages that Donald Trump keeps saying he's going to now impose, the countries, yes, are going to be affected by it because they can't sell their goods into the United States without adding that type of tax. But they're not paying the tax. It's the companies and ultimately the citizens that put Donald Trump in that will be paying the tax. So everything is going to go high. That's the tariffs. The one big beautiful bill is passed now. So your cost is going to go high. That's your taxes. And everyone is now waiting for the message that is coming, will be coming from the Republicans and will be coming from the Democrats. I don't know who you're banking on. I don't know what you see in the future. But I'll tell you one thing, it's hard to vote against Donald Trump because he has shown you that he has the cards. This is Clarence Williams, and this is another edition of Now and Then. Please like this. Please subscribe. Please write your comments. Have yourself a great day, a great 4th of July. Goodbye.